Now we're ready.
Okay, cool. Podcast 4, take 4. That's what this is. Alright, so. Later today, we're going to film the second half of the grill video.
Yes.
So, what would be a good name for this grill video?
Here, I'm gonna get my. That's so scary.
I feel like it has...
It's about the burger.
It's about burgers. Also, we could have maybe, what's that grill thing that, the grill that black guy made?
The George Foreman.
The George Foreman grill.
We could do something like that. George Foreman's final.
The Foreman Quest.
Foreman Quest.
George Foreman's Quest. These are the these here. Look at, holy shit.
What?
Just like this, like when you, oh, is this Iron and Wine?
Yeah.
Awesome. This is a good album.
Yeah, I got it for $5 on Amazon.
Damn, Iron and Wine, they're, I have to take a picture of this.
Jonah's looking through my vinyls for the listeners out there.
This is a good.
Have you guys ever done the Tinder thing where you go out as a group?
No.
No.
Because me and John and Dean are in a group right now. And
What?
We're fucking taking down the ladies, bro.
What are you talking about? Go out as a group.
Yeah, like you know how there's the single swipe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then on the side there's like the group matches. And there'll be like a group of 3 girls, and it's me, Dean, and John. No back. So I swipe right on every group of girls, actually.
Yeah.
And I've been saying some horrendous things, but it's actually been working.
So let's read us some of your.
The first one I said, I'm looking to be punished. And punished is in all caps. They didn't respond. I go from all angles, so I asked them... I said, "What's up, ladies? I'm built like a fucking milk truck." They didn't answer that either. They're not too into the aggressive.
Built like a milk truck.
And then
What's that even mean?
I know the
milk trucks don't even exist anymore.
The one that really sparked a conversation. I said, "Either you we matched with 2 girls." So I said, "Either you ladies been with a Sasquatch?" In all caps.
And then they just say back and forth.
No.
All right, I'll read them and you read yourself. So read from the top.
Yeah. Either you ladies ever been with a Sasquatch?
No.
What about a chupacabra? Because I'm a little bit of both.
And what's that mean?
It means I'm built like a fridge and I fuck like a hyena.
How does a hyena fuck?
And then Dean chimes in.
That's a fucking good question, to be honest.
I said, like 5 wombats. You ever been with 5 wombats?
What's a wombat?
I say, oh my, and I send a gif of a wombat just fiddling around in a washing machine. I said, this is a wombat. Do you really think you could handle 5?
Why would I handle 1?
I said, with an attitude like that, you probably couldn't handle more than 2.
Oh gosh.
And Dean chimes in again.
I'm saying 3 tops. Wombats are crafty as hell. And then the girl goes, I wouldn't know. None of the other 2 girls are the other 3 girls are doing it.
It's just me, Dean, and this girl.
And you say,
I'm always willing to teach.
I bet.
I said, fuck this, I'm gay. She goes, Lamau, okay. And that's where it ends.
That's hilarious.
Dude, like,
like a milk.
I feel like girls on Tinder are so used to guys like doing stupid pickup lines that I have to do something fucking ridiculous for them to actually answer, and
like,
it seems to work sometimes.
Like next time, just say like, I don't know, if you're like, just say like, hey, I'm a dresser drawer, and if she ever says anything back, she's like, what's that mean? And you're like, fold your fucking laundry and put it inside me.
God.
Fold up your laundry and put it inside
I
me.
like comparing myself to animals that just people would not compare themselves to. That's what I like to be, like a hyena or a wombat or something like that. Because people would be like, I'm a fucking jaguar.
Did you
Is
see
that
that
the one animal we were watching last night?
Wombats.
Oh, no,
yeah.
not
wombats.
wombats.
Oh, the capybara.
Yeah, the capybara.
The world's largest rodent.
They're down in South America, right?
Uh-huh.
They eat them.
They're weird. They're like giant guinea pigs. They're so docile, though. Except, there's this video of this guy. He's got a male capybara, and it gets to about 6 months old, and it gets aggressive. And he goes...
And it's like 40 pounds, right? 50
Yeah, they're
pounds?
big. They're a big rat. And it starts coming towards him and biting at his hand. He's holding like a cloth. So it's biting the cloth, And he goes, they're real aggressive. They won't back down. Biting the cloth. This is winter, mind you, and he's got his pool there. He throws it into the fucking pool.
Can
and
it swim?
He goes, yeah, it can. They're like great swimmers. He goes, that's ice cold water. It should have backed down by now. Type in capybara aggression.
That's
oh, it's the top one.
Is the first one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Skip through it a little bit.
Yeah.
I just want to see him.
It's filmed on a potato, unfortunately.
Basically, he's turned vicious, and
Basically.
making this documentary to show other people what they can expect about 5 or 6 months in from a male capybara.
He said you have to neuter it, or else it'll.
Unless it'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
This is the part.
I don't want to get hurt. He's a powerful animal.
He's a powerful animal. He
It's
says.
like a little big pig.
And he means business.
But he looks like he's
Ready?
fucking mad. He doesn't even
Buddy.
look like he's trying to like.
Look.
Oh.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Frozen in the fucking water.
Watch this. He's so determined he'll come right back. That was ice cold. It should have snapped him into any kind of submission.
Should have broken him.
He can't beat me.
You can't beat me. You have to stand up to your
So
capybara.
did you guys see? Did you guys see that? You were talking about Tinder. Did you see that article that came up? I saw on Facebook yesterday about the Tinder couple. There's two things. One, a Tinder couple met at a Tinder swipe right event at the Atlanta Hawks Arena in Georgia, and they've been dating for like 2 years and they're getting married. So they told the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks are paying for their wedding.
Wow, that's really
Anything
cool.
they want.
If you can manage to, yeah, that's
So
so
think
weird.
about that. That's like a $30,000-$50,000 thing. Here's the other thing then. This guy like messaged a girl. This was like a Facebook, one of those viral Facebook sharing things. Messaged a girl and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she responded like 5 months later and was like, "Sorry, I lost my phone. I had to find it." And he responded like 2 months after that and was like, "No problem. My phone has just been charging." And she responded like 6 months later and was like, "Hey, finals were really a lot too much."
The whole semester.
Yeah, and it went on like this for literally, I think it started in 2014 and went on until 2016, like 2 years or maybe even now. No, it's probably now because that's why they're showing it. So 3 years of just like responding every like 3 months. Tinder saw this and now was like, "We will," and they go to the same school, Kent State University.
Wow.
And Tinder was like, "Pick a city and we'll fly you out there and we'll do all expense paid trips so you guys can meet for the first time," because they never met each other.
What the hell?
So they chose Maui. In
That's
Hawaii.
awesome.
So they're gonna have a free vacation.
That's so cool. Dude, I want people to see. I want Tinder to see my ridiculous comments.
Maybe they'll take you to like a zoo. And
Yeah, they'll be like, you can show her all the animals that you fuck like.
and you can see that one guy that owns that Wolverine, that crazy guy. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever?
Jackman?
Wilderness Brave Wilderness.
Yeah.
With that guy, he has a video where he goes.
Oh yeah, that. Okay, yeah.
He goes
I'll
and
try
meets
to
this
pull
guy
up.
that owns a Wolverine and like tamed a Wolverine and like all these other animals like weasels and stuff. Only like the most vicious, right?
Uh-huh.
And the kid gets face to face with the Wolverine.
There
by the
oh,
artist.
this
It
guy.
can-
Wait,
Wait,
pause it real quick.
This is the guy that gets bit by like fire ants
Yeah.
and stuff.
Now, Wolverines are the most ferocious animal in the wild.
They're small and not even bears mess with them. Yeah, because a bear's
and they
like,
say,
fuck that.
and this guy in this video, not the Brave Wilderness guy, but the guy that owns the Wolverine, says the most vicious animal pound for pound is a weasel.
I've heard that
is
too.
like an 8-ounce weasel.
Uh-huh.
That if they were the size of a lion, they would be the most feared creature in all of the world.
There's-
That's crazy.
It's funny because Wolverines, weasels, like badgers, they all belong to the same family. It's like mustelid or something, and they're all like ferocious as fuck. They're like sort of weasel-like their shape of their body is, and they're all just
Like weasels are really small, but they go after like rabbits, which
They
are
do.
like 5 times their size.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy.
That's just like they do that, which you're right, 5 times their size, weighs like.
I don't know if they're related to mongoose. I think they are. Because the
Probably.
mongoose, too, is really fucking... They kill cobras, you know?
Now, what's a
Like,
mongoose look like? Does it look like a Wolverine? I've never seen one
a
before.
mongoose is like a long weasel, like a longer weasel. They're so agile they can actually dodge a snake attack.
And that's why they do like the mongoose.
Yeah,
versus
and they're like
cobras.
immune to venom and stuff.
Are they related to
Whoa.
prairie dogs? Then?
Yes,
it kind
they're-
of looks like a prairie
They're
dog.
all sort of in the same family.
Meerkat manner.
I don't know for sure, though. I don't know for sure if they're all in the same family, so if somebody knows better than me...
That's
who's
so
listening
cute
to this-
looking.
That's pretty cool.
It would make
But
sense.
think about it. These creatures, whatever family they're in, they're the most. They're like
Pound for
could be the
pound.
most feared in the world.
I'm pretty sure they're in the same family as a weasel, and because I know that the
Would that be the,
Wolverine
like,
is it's the mustelid, I think,
mustelid.
or however you would pronounce it.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I know Wolverine is the largest, so they're definitely the
I would
scariest.
assume the Tasmanian devil is also in the same family.
I don't know.
Look up a
about
picture
that.
of a Tasmanian devil.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever seen one
I
before?
have seen one.
They
Yeah.
kind of look like little bears.
Yeah, I don't know if they fall in this family though.
Look, it's like a little bear.
Yeah, they're ugly.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
it looks
cute.
Like a possum.
Look at that third. Look at the third picture. Yeah, that one right there. Come on, it's a little baby.
His eyes
Okay,
are
that
really
one's
far
cute.
apart.
They look a little lopsided, huh?
Maybe they are lopsided. Maybe they like to be lopsided.
I like their build is odd. They look like a bear fucked a rat. That's what they look like.
little black bears.
Yeah.
Speaking about bears, have you ever seen one in person?
Yes, but just a black bear.
They'll hurt you.
Yeah, they're strong.
This Tasmanian devil?
Yeah.
Look how cute he is. I don't have my phone charger.
Me?
Left it at Frank's.
Oh, I'm at 8%. I should have brought.
I'm at 10%.
I
Do you have a
brought
wall
my
thing? I have a cord in my car.
Nope.
if you want it.
I mean, yeah, you probably have a wall thing, but here, Jonah, look at this new vinyl.
Let me see. All right. Because we're going to this. You guys keep talking about the freaking thing. Oh my god, this is.
Do you know what album it is?
Yeah, it's the Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's fucking awesome. It's a burned up chicken head. That's awesome.
I want to see this video with the Wolverine.
Yeah, here, let me see if I can find the part where...
He goes nose to nose with it.
God, that's scary.
But you'll see the guy that owns the Wolverine.
Come true.
There's the guy. He's
Yeah.
he's crazy. Because he's been working with these animals for like
Uh-huh.
30, 40 years.
Ooh.
And he no, that was him. He talks to it.
Oh.
No, the guy's like mentally insane.
Oh.
That was
You're
it.
cool.
I just made a connection with the Wolverine.
Oh. It's kind of cute, but you know it could tear you
Oh,
apart.
yeah.
Which isn't that crazy because it's no bigger. It's like 30 pounds, I think. 40 pounds.
It looks like a really fucking strong weasel.
Look at
That's
its
what it looks
hands, like-
Yeah, it's got like bear claws.
But look, the guy's holding it with a piece of twine. Like it's not even like a dog leash. It's literally a piece
that's
of twine.
scary. Because Wolverines are like they'll eat like leftovers of like an elk or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to be fierce enough that if a bear comes up, they need to be like, "Fuck you, get away from this," and then the bear will be like, "All right."
But look, he goes like face to face with it, which is
I can hear him talking to it though. That dude is weird.
told you.
I can't believe it. Now we gotta see if Steve will actually let me into the enclosure.
This guy's named
That-
Coyote Peterson.
Yeah,
that's his name.
He finally grew his beard out, and I'll say that may be the best beard I've ever seen. Like
Right?
thickest. Look at his beard.
History to enter an enclosure with an unharnessed Wolverine.
In an enclosure right now with the Wolverine. I'm gonna turn this GoPro on and just set this over here.
Look how thick
By
that
the
is.
moose skin and the cow meat. Okay. Okay. This is my gift. Okay.
The big piece of meat.
Okay.
You have to bring him an offering, so he does not become the offering.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
From this side and be behind you, and I'm gonna watch. Okay. I think he's so preoccupied. Okay, at this point, the Wolverine is off of the harness. We're in an enclosure with the animal.
And the thing is, you see that giant piece of meat? Like that's the size of my body.
Mm-hmm. And they'll just pull it.
Can I let go? Yeah, no, I'll just let him pull on it. Okay, let go. Oh, he likes that. I knew it. That soft part.
But now through the video, you'll see the Wolverine gets pissed.
That's your gift to him, okay?
That's your gift.
Now, I would get up and walk with you. Just watch it. Just don't be I would get closer.
This is.
He hid that piece of meat.
Oh.
I am about 2 feet away from the Wolverine right now. That's okay. Let him do whatever he wants.
They're so twitchy. They're like a big weasel, honestly.
What I want you to do now, if he gets that a little bit further, I want you to grab that piece of meat and kind of get to put it over here and see if he takes it, puts it back. If you do that, you're developing a relationship with him without insulting him.
Do you think they can hear this on the podcast? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
sees that the meat is not there. That's right.
See, that weasel's pissed off. He's like, he moved my frickin' meat. Big boy got his big meat.
Didn't struggle too much.
He didn't jump from the meat to you.
Okay.
This is a good sign of accepting you in the sense of he's letting you into his private world now.
Okay.
That is incredible. That's like I just can't believe I
He just wants to taste.
Yeah, sure is.
Such a weird noise for an animal to make.
Here you go. His hand is with rushing. Go ahead. Be careful, okay? Let him grab. I'm not over his head.
Let me give you my shirt.
Okay, put that on. You think you'll feel a little more comfortable?
Put that on.
Okay.
Put that on. You're
All right.
taking over my. See, that's all the holes in there.
I'm gonna drag the meat back again, just real slowly. So we can do that again, real quickly. Let's just let it be natural. Trust me, just let me let the Wolverine come up to you. Go.
I'd be interested to feel how strong the Wolverine is. Like when you're tugging on it, if it just feels like a dog tugging on it, or if it feels like something different.
Come on, close. Look at that. In right this position, you can see just how powerful those jaws are. He is just racing through that meat.
Oh, but see, now he's pissed off. He comes in.
It's angry.
Have you ever been like face to face with an animal that was angry?
Just like a dog, yeah.
Oh, that's not fun.
It was a big dog. I don't know. It wasn't like.
Well, when Steve says that's enough,
I wasn't-
that's enough.
I went to the what's it called? Lehigh Valley Zoo, Truxtun Game Preserve, and there's like lynx there, like a small mountain cat, and I saw it, and like there you can get up to like there's like a roped off section of like a foot in front of the enclosure, and then there's the enclosure, and I looked at it and saw me, looked in my eyes, and I was like,
Yeah,
like
trying to
twitching
fake
at it,
out.
and it was like it got
Yikes.
and it started growling. I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
Started
I'm being such a
posturing.
dick to this thing, but it is so cool. But besides that, I've never been in like a. I've seen a bear before with my eyes at Boy Scout camp.
Yeah. What kind of bear?
It was a black bear.
Yeah.
They made us all like.
They're all real small.
Yeah, but they made us all like leave. They were like, "Oh, there's a black bear in campsite like 4," and we're like, "Oh, that's like our campsite."
Those are
Gotta go.
Those are the smallest bears in our area. So those ones you're actually like, you know how every other bear you're supposed to ball up if they attack you, but a black bear is small enough that you're actually supposed to fight back just because they're like about your size.
I think black bears like that, and I think it's not grizzlies. Grizzlies, you're definitely supposed
you just
to
need to
ball up, and you're supposed to put your hands over your back of your head. Black bears are like that, and what are the other ones? The honey bears, or something?
Pooh bears.
They're just like
sun bears.
Sun bears, yeah.
Those aren't even in our area, but
there's a third type that's in our area. I know, but they're the same thing as black bears. You're actually supposed to like if it comes at you, you're supposed to like punch it.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to fight back because they're only like I say only, but they're like 400 pounds, which is like not that big for a bear.
So like grizzly bear's like a ton.
Yeah,
I mean a half a ton.
A grizzly bear, yeah, you just don't even. A grizzly bear will just. I've seen videos of this dude. This dude got attacked and he balled up like that, and the bear went over and just pawed at him like a cat or something. But he said it felt like he was being hit with like a metal baseball bat.
And isn't that crazy? Because like it doesn't seem like
they're just so strong. It's like if they really wanted to, you'd be dead in a second. So.
And that's the whole plot of The Revenant. Have you ever seen The Revenant? I didn't think that movie was that good.
It's based on a true story, but very loosely.
Yeah, apparently. It was just that for 45 minutes, Leonardo DiCaprio, he won the Oscar for it. But for 45 minutes, it was
screaming.
Yeah, it wasn't. He didn't have any lines. It was just him yelling.
Yeah.
I didn't really think it was like that good. It was definitely a dad movie.
A dad movie.
Do you like? I compare it to No Country for Old Men. Or There Will Be Blood.
Okay,
or like the 3:10 to Yuma or Yuma.
Yuma, yeah.
3:10 to Yuma.
I see
Those
what
are
you mean
all
by
dad movies. those are movies that like moms, women probably don't want to see, but dads like the suspenseful thrillers.
I could picture my dad be like, "You gotta watch this movie." Yeah.
And the only reason I mentioned those 3 movies was because I've seen all of those with my dad.
With your dad, yeah.
Yeah,
and he's like, awesome, yeah.
Exactly. My favorite out of those is There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, no, I saw that one. That's the one with the oil well and stuff out there in the desert.
Favorite scene is where the guy just bashes the person's skull in with the bowling pins. When they're bowling. It's awesome. And then No Country for Old Men, the guy just goes around. Have you ever seen that movie? It's about this man that goes around killing people because like there's a briefcase filled with a bunch of money. He's trying to find it, and he goes around and he has this oxygen tank. But the oxygen tank, when you put up the mask, he clicks a button and a spike shoots out. It's a pressurized spike, so he kills people by just putting the oxygen to their face and then.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn.
I've never seen the 3:10 to Yuma, but I just assume.
I've heard about that.
I've just assumed that it's a dad movie.
My dad really likes like Alien, The Thing, like all those kind of, and like the old horror movies, like what is it, Halloween, like Friday the 13th kind of.
Okay, so like old horror movies and like sci-fi thrillers.
Yeah.
My parents are seeing Baby Driver tonight.
What's that?
Baby Driver?
It's with Kevin Spacey and Ansel.
Is it that kid that listens to the fucking music while he drives?
Yeah. They got a 95 on Rotten Tomato and an 85 on Media Critic.
I don't like Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, see, I love Rotten Tomato. Well, look, it's not IMDb or whatever it is, IMDb.
Yeah.
It got an 8.3, so like, it can't be that bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Kevin Spacey's in it, and the kid's name is, it's Ansel Gaerter or something like that?
What's it about? I don't think I've even
It's
seen
about,
this
the kid's a getaway driver. Here, we'll watch
Yeah.
This kid's like a getaway driver, and he listens to music.
Okay, so it's one of these ridiculously action-packed movies.
But my parents wanted to go see a movie, so I looked online, and there's like nothing good out besides this. There's also the new Spider-Man movie that I've heard is supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be the best Spider-Man ever to come out, which isn't saying much because Tobey Maguire sucks dick.
I would like to
pause
disagree
this.
with that.
Pause this. We'll talk about Tobey Maguire really quick.
Yeah,
Tobey
that's pretty much the movie.
My Finsta bio used to be the 3rd Spider-Man movie where Tobey Maguire sucks. That was my old Finsta. Now it's the world's fastest clapper.
What's the what's the bet or what? Who all has played Spider-Man? That's my question.
I don't know. Look that up. I know it's Tobey Maguire did 1, 2, and 3, and then the Amazing Spider-Man was that one guy that did the 2 movies.
The dude with the big hair.
Yeah. And now there's a new kid.
I thought for a while wasn't Childish Gambino supposed to be?
They were gonna do a Black Spider-Man with this new
Donald Glover. That would have been
Andrew
cool.
Garfield.
Andrew Garfield's the
And then
the old guy.
And Drake Bell. I don't know, for Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right.
Was that the animated version?
I don't know.
Actually, I don't remember Drake.
So what's the new kid's name? Tom what?
Tom Holland.
Yeah,
kid
so
with
that's
the
the
big
new
hair.
guy. And then the old guy was Andrew Garfield.
Oh, that's the kid with the big hair.
Mm-hmm.
See, I really like
Maguire
Tobey
sucks.
Maguire, and like the first, and I'm gonna say the second one. I
The
liked.
third one was absolute trash.
Third one was horrible. I'll say that.
It seems to me that because Spider-Man, like, I don't know if you guys ever read the comic or anything, but he's supposed to just be like this nerd, this fucking geek, right? Tobey Maguire, to me, just looks like the biggest nerd. So I think, like, personally, like, his face just fits it for me, and maybe that's only because I've only
the
he's
movies
the first
weren't
one.
comic book accurate,
Yeah.
like with the web slingers and stuff like that. But
'Cause
I
the only
think
thing-
he
the only
played
thing
it
he
the
act-
best he could.
The only thing Spider-Man actually had power-wise was Spidey senses, correct? And
The strength.
the strength. His ability to walk up walls wasn't. I don't think
Yeah.
he like got that. He did like a nerd thing and built that for him, and he built his web shooters.
Yeah, the web shooters.
But
were,
in the original 3 Spider-Man, they were just like, oh, he has all these powers.
yeah, I mean, they're
Webs
trying
just
to-
come out of his
See, like, but
things.
I
Like,
can't.
that
I
makes any
can't.
sense.
I don't think we can put that on Tobey Maguire.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
all
I'm
it's
saying-
Tobey Maguire's fault.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
fucking
saying-
wrote that movie. That
I
asshole.
think he did a really good job. I think he portrayed.
That's like saying
Spider-Man.
That's
the
like
best.
saying, oh, the Empire Strikes Back. It's not Lord Vader's fault. It's the whole entire Empire's fault. It's Lord Vader's fault. It was his fault.
I don't know.
It's
about
Tobey
that. I don't
Maguire's
watch
fault.
Star Wars. So I
It's
don't-
Tobey Maguire's fault.
Nah,
Okay.
man.
No, but I think Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, that would have been cool because
He's a nerd. He plays a nerd in every single thing he does.
his body to me looks like that of Spider-Man. Like he's like lanky, and I think he would be a really good
Shit,
Spider-Man.
he has a lot of siblings.
Who?
Tobey Maguire.
How many siblings does he have?
Like 5.
It's not that many.
Yeah, it's...
Well, I mean...
Johnny Cape plus 8. Just named. They have 7 siblings.
That turned out well.
Whatever, bro.
Let's get into Johnny
Wait,
Cape plus
wait.
8, huh?
Johnny Cape plus 8. That turned out well. 19 kids and counting.
That turned out great.
Well.
Yeah.
Why does it seem if you have more than 5 children, your family's fucked?
Maybe just stick to 1 or 2.
Oh, God. He acted in Baby Boss, or Boss Baby.
Who?
Tobey Maguire. He was Adult Tim.
All right.
Adult Tim. Not Baby Tim.
Adult
He was in The
Tim.
Great Gatsby, which I liked his part in.
I never saw that movie, so...
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one. And then
I saw the old
Spider-Man,
one, but
obviously.
Oh, dude.
He played Cats and Dogs, really? He was Lou the Beagle. He was! Oh my god.
Did Leo win anything
Leonardo DiCaprio?
for Wolf of Wall Street?
No.
Damn.
That was the big
was
controversy.
really
awesome.
good.
That movie I watched on a plane, like a long ass.
The reason, like, I don't know why they gave the Grammy to him for the best actor for that Revenant film, because like it wasn't his best work. Like Titanic was 10 times better.
It's almost like they just felt like they needed him to have it at
Yeah.
some point, so they were like, just for Revenant. Sure.
Yeah.
Even though Revenant
Yeah.
was pretty good, but he's had way better performances.
Yeah, no, he really has.
I think for Wolf of Wall Street, he could have won it because that. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I've
That's
seen it a
awesome.
couple times.
I love it.
Based off a true story.
Yeah, it's based off of 2 people actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen Vice actually did an interview with the guy that it's mostly based off of, and it's pretty impressive.
And yeah, the guy, from what I've heard, the guy's like, yeah, it's pretty much like that. If not, it was worse than that. Like,
which is
he's like, they toned it
ridiculous.
down a
Yeah.
little bit. Damn, that guy, he had a bunch of money.
The dude is like, he's still doing okay. That guy, yeah. Because I mean, he got out of prison, and I don't know if he got out on a plea deal or something like that.
I think the end of the movie. The end of the movie tells you I think he helps the FBI.
That's what it is. Yeah. He's an informant or something, so
Yeah.
he gets some sort of plea deal where he doesn't have to spend that much time in prison.
But just think about that. There's like a federal prison out there just with a bunch of like tax evaders and things like that.
Yeah, that's funny. It's not like a violent prison at all. Like if
they
you're
have tennis courts and shit.
Yeah,
Like, they're nice
exactly.
prisons where these people go.
Yeah.
Because they go to these private prisons probably because they pay people off to say, hey, bring me to the prisons that have nice shit there.
It is. It's a. I don't think it's any. I don't think it's like any worse or better than a violent crime, but it's just silly that they're like, if you were in that prison, you wouldn't have to worry like about your physical safety at all.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, well, these guys are just a bunch of like smart rich guys who like game the system.
I was watching this documentary about prisons in other countries. No, actually, it wasn't prisons in other countries. It was just other countries in general. This is a documentary for the ages. Michael Moore, the man that made Bowling for Columbine. Yeah, I know. People are like, Michael Moore, he's crazy, crazy liberal.
Yeah.
But
I think he's got some good ideas, but
Bowling for Columbine, yeah, he's crazy. But I like his documentary. So this one was called Where to Invade Next, and it's on Hulu. And I watched that, and I think both of you should watch it. It's real good.
Is that
but
about?
It's about how he goes to different countries and he asks, what are you most proud of? So he went to Italy and he's like, what are you most proud about your country? And somebody was like, I really like our time off. Like, we get 5 weeks automatically. Once you have a kid, you have 6 months off. You have all of August off. In December, you get something called the 13th month check, where they just give you double your money in the month of December. And they have all this stuff, and they're like, yeah, our economy's fine, blah, blah, blah. He goes to France, and he's like, oh, school lunches. They're like, we really like how our elementary school lunches are. He goes there, these kids have 4-course meals, and they're all really healthy. They have, the chefs plan the meals throughout the week with, like, a dietitian to make sure that it's healthy for the kids while they eat. Right, and then he blah blah. He goes to, I think it was Norway, and he was like, "Oh, the prison system."
They have the best prison
and
system.
it's just like the return rate for prisoners is like
recidivism. I actually wrote
5% or something.
When
like
I wrote that
It's real
paper
low.
on the drug war,
Yeah.
a whole 2 pages of it was on the prison system and how they have the best one. Where
Yeah.
in the United States, the recidivism rate, which is the thing
It's
where
like
people come back in,
50%?
75%.
Oh wow! Okay.
And in Norway, it is 23%.
It's very low, yeah.
Very, very
and like
low.
I saw, and the place that they had for these Norwegian people, it was an island, and there was like
nice
it was an apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and they could go swimming, and he's like, aren't they afraid like you're gonna escape? And they're like, we escaped. They'll get us. We'll come back, but we just have to swim. Like they could find us real easily.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about him going to these different places and saying, hey, what are you doing right? Like, what do you think you're doing the most right in like a certain area? And then at the end of the film, he's just like, isn't this ironic that all of these ideas stem from something in America? And it's just about how we've gone away from it, and it's making like these individual things like our school lunches are shit, and like our prison system shit. And he's just like, we started with these ideas, but for some reason we moved away from them, and now those things are shit. So it's like where to invade next, because after he talks with these people, he says, I'm going to invade and steal this idea for America. And then at the end, he reveals that all these ideas were already American ideas. So it's just funny. But those prisoners were fun because they were just chilling.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me when I did the research for that. It's crazy, like because it's based on the idea, and you know, I guess a lot of people would agree they want to see like justice or whatever, especially for like violent criminals, like a murderer. Everybody agrees, keep him away from society, right? But is it like, I don't know, these things are more like our prisons are just throw all the bad guys, regardless of what they did, in a fucking hole, and they all become better criminals, basically. That's why our recidivism rate is crazy high.
But then you even can ask the question like, with when you send murderers to jail, you're like, okay, what if it's a murderer though? But it's a murderer like a wife killed the husband because the husband was abusing her for years and years and years, right? She doesn't want to kill anybody else. There was only that one person. She's not crazy. She's not a threat to society because she doesn't want to kill anybody else. She was only a threat to that one person.
Still
you have to punish
someone,
her. No. I'm saying, you have to punish her, but it's like
every case is different. Basically.
But you know what I mean. But like in that case, you just be like, she's not going to kill anybody else.
Probably not. No, it's like
she just did that because she.
And then she'll go to jail and learn how to be either a better killer or a better thief, and then probably end up back in jail as soon as she gets out. Like it's crazy how
because jail ruins people's lives after they get out.
It does, and then like the whole thing is another system we have in the United States that they don't have in Norway is like when people get out of jail, we are very unforgiving generally, unless it's like a very small petty crime,
or unless you're like a pro athlete like Michael Vick, who apparently no one cared.
True.
No one cared about that after he got out.
Their argument is just like, well, he can throw a football and he can tackle people, so he can still work for us. But anyway,
I'll get into that after.
In general, I'll say like for 99% of the population, very unforgiving for things like if you stole a car or something like that, right? Yeah. And it's like it's kind of ridiculous because like you already served your time. So shouldn't you kind of be like able to, as long as like I say murder, rapist, people like that, it's kind of like a different thing because it's like a violent, heinous crime. Yeah. But if you're just a thief or something, I don't know. I agree. So it's kind of, it's silly that we do that. But in Norway, they're like, you did your time, we'll hire you. You know,
that's the two other places I'm remembering the documentary now. He went to Portugal, and they don't have any laws against drugs, so they can just do any drugs they want. Right. And there's like no drug abuse or anything over in Portugal. Like, Portugal's good.
Very, very low numbers.
And then he goes to Lithuania, I believe, or somewhere Eastern European.
Yeah.
And they have free college, right? And the reason I remember that is because they showed Lehigh in it. So, they have free college, and in like 2010 or 2012, they proposed $3,000 like tuition for their state colleges, right? And there weren't riots, but there were like protests and everything, and the students actually got together and were able to stop the government from making them pay the $3,000.
Wow.
And he's like, isn't that ironic? Because let's see what happens in America when there is a $1,500 like tuition increase.
Everyone's just like,
it switched. It was showing like all of this. It was showing the protests and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, let's see what happens in America." It switched to a picture of Lehigh, a video of Lehigh, and it was just like a bunch of kids sitting on our front lawn doing nothing.
Yeah,
like it was just like a nice one of our like promotional shots of one of our nice buildings because this past year they raised it. They raised $1,500 and. At no point did I say, you know what, maybe I should do something about it, because I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's just funny. And it was just the juxtaposition fact that
I just think that is very cool, and if we could manage to do that, I would love to have everyone have that high education, because that keeps you away from things like crime and all sorts of that, and just makes your life better. Yes, it is proven. Yeah,
it's proven. Education keeps you away from crime.
Yeah, as soon as you graduate college, you're already way, way less likely to commit all sorts of crimes.
It also just makes you a better person with social things. Like they say, education brings down racism, the percent of racism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're more,
just because you're
more diverse
open.
ideas and stuff. That's good. In the United States, I don't know if there's enough money to do all of that. That's the thing. No. There's too many people. I think our country's too big. That's why it's very cool that they can do that in Lithuania, but we're at the end of the day, we're just a different country, and it's a different situation.
And the fact that they can do that,
countries the size,
and they're
Texas.
Very homogenous society with the same culture. Mm-hmm. And I think that the United States is cool because we have a lot of different cultures, but that can also be a downfall at times.
But then that's why each state should be its own thing. We should just have
states'
our own
rights. Yeah, I'm all
we should
for
just
that.
have our own governments.
Well, that's how the founding fathers wanted it.
Yeah,
they wanted it
and that's the smartest, because if you look at Germany's the size of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So Pennsylvania could be its own country.
Right. It should be like the EU, but just like each state. We all belong and maybe pay into a system called the US or something.
But we're Pennsylvania.
Yeah, exactly.
And just I guess Tom Wolfe is the person that makes our decisions for us. What do you have up here? Oregon?
Your whole talk about decriminalization of drugs, and they have no drug
no, not at all
druggies down there. Yeah. Well, Oregon is getting close to passing a bill where it decriminalizes heroin, cocaine, all that.
That's crazy.
To possess.
Okay.
Which is I think a good idea.
Yeah,
because if you find some meth head with just a meth pipe and some meth on whatever, they're not damaging anybody else other than themselves.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's their choice.
And then,
I'm all for that.
And then if we can offer help to them instead of just throwing them in prison, you know what I mean?
And it's proven that dropping the age of drinking
to 18 again.
To 18 or to even 16 like it is in European countries reduces the percentage or your likelihood to binge drink or abuse alcohol.
Because you grow up with it,
It's just a proven fact. The fact that our college system is so fucked because everyone abuses alcohol is because the legal drinking age is 21, and if it was 16, people would just be like, "Oh, I don't have to binge drink tonight. I can just casually get drunk and not get
beers or something,
not get completely blasted in the ass."
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think kids would abuse it when the law first passes.
But once a generation.
That's the thing that's annoying is whenever people pass these kind of laws, they look the people that are against it always look at it immediately. Look at these rates, they skyrocketed. It's do you understand how any law works? Where there's always a period of time right after it that you notice weird things and you have to wait for it to smooth out. People just
Colorado with the weed. Of course you're going to see an increase in homeless rate and shit like that because everybody's flocking.
They're flocking over to it. Yeah.
And also, I'd like to say that big thing that was saying that there was an increase in automobile accidents in Colorado because of weed smoking.
Fake.
It was fake. The news article that Fox News was reporting on when doing that, the headline said that, but in no point during the actual article did it say that was the cause. It just alluded to the fact that it might be a cause, but it never was this is a proven fact. Mm-hmm. It was just fucking. It's headline reading.
More research needs to be done. That's
really what it is. It really isn't because I don't know. It doesn't impair you like people think.
I would like to see a study. Why not? Right? I mean, I'm all for a study.
There's some videos where it's they had. It was this newscaster that went to a state police parking lot, and they were like, oh yeah, we're cracking down on pot smokers while driving, buzz driving. So we're doing tests to see if you can really drive while high. Mm-hmm. So they gave people high goggles, kind of drunk goggles, and the lady was when she put it on, she's like, oh man, that basketball hoop looks like it's over there, but it's actually over there. This is not accurate.
Yeah. I saw one actually where they had people get high
and drive around.
And drive with a police officer. They're like, you're allowed to smoke for this test
and
or whatever.
Are you?
They're like, for real? And so they do it. And they smoke a few blunts or something. Or I don't know how they measured it exactly.
Okay.
But it was a good bit. The one girl was just buzzed, right?
Hello.
The mail just came, just to let you know.
cool. I'm waiting for a check.
I always am too.
Yeah.
Aren't we all? I'm waiting for that Publishers Clearinghouse that I never play, just to show up with balloons.
Hey, they're giving out like $1.5 million this summer, so watch out. I just saw a commercial the other day.
Yeah, those are always legit.
If you see them coming down your street, just see which house they stop in front of and quick
I'm
go
best friends
inside.
with them.
Quick go inside, answer the door. Oh, cool, Publishing
Thanks.
Clearinghouse,
Just
thank you.
walk around from the back. Just be like, oh, you got me at a good time.
Are these swim trunks?
Yeah.
We need to swim.
Yeah.
We
Swing.
need
Get
to
a
find a
pool.
pool. We need to build a pool or something.
See, the thing is, we were
We have
thinking
that blow-up
about it.
pool.
Yeah. But we were thinking about getting a pool, but the cost of it was so astronomical because
Oh, yeah.
our
It's like
land's not flat.
$30,000.
Oh,
because,
there's
like,
all the rocks
just
in
a
the
hill.
land here too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the
we have
landscape
worst.
and the
Just
The
getting a pool here is
fencing.
not a
Yeah,
good
because you have to
idea.
get fencing, because if somebody hops, if somebody jumps in your pool
And
and
dies,
drowns, it's
yeah.
your fault. But
Yep.
if you have fencing and they do it, it's not your fault.
That's right.
You need to have some small barrier just to prove that they really tried to get in there. That's
Yeah.
basically all that is.
Yeah.
So silly.
The pool itself was like $30,000, but once everything, like, then you have the concrete around it. Concrete's freaking expensive.
Mm-hmm. And they charge you for every like large stone that they take out of the ground
Yeah.
too. And
Really?
in this area, it's like ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's the worst soil. So. Yeah.
It is. You're right. It's like so much limestone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, and then just the maintenance, the sheer maintenance.
The chemicals.
It's
That's why I said hot
ridiculous.
tub, because we could put a hot tub in the patio.
It's a lot smaller too. Yeah. You don't have to dig down. That's probably
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of it.
And now it's becoming like cheaper and cheaper to have like a hot tub. You
Is
just
it?
plug it into an outlet and like, there you go.
Mm.
Well, and oh my
Well, yeah,
god,
with
you have to keep
chemicals.
up with the chemicals with a hot tub.
Yeah, they
Shit.
can get disgusting.
Oh my gosh, and you can get
A
some really
cesspool,
disgusting.
just a small
Get a nice
cesspool.
stew going. All the bacteria.
I don't even go in public hot tubs.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
won't.
yeah, no.
I can't.
Yeah.
I have to know I'll go in the McCarthy's, but because I know them and I know they keep it like
Right.
pristine and nobody's like having sex in it.
But like at hotels.
Oh.
Oh,
Ew.
oh.
Yeah, over at Bear Creek, the ski place, they have a heated pool. So that's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works, but it's just a giant pool that's
Yeah,
heated.
just a heated pool.
Yeah.
I know the Berloos have one of those too. Yeah, it's weird though. It could be like 86 degrees in the pool, and you get out. It's basically like swimming in a hot tub.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good though. 'Cause it's
No.
like hot tubs feel good because they're like a bath, but
Yeah.
like a warm pool feels
It's
like
like-
something's wrong. It feels
Yeah.
like you're like, my skin can't breathe right now. I want to sweat because I'm moving around, but I don't know what to do.
Mhm.
Your body freaks out.
And we were talking about the legalization before. There was a couple documentary things on Netflix that were about businesses starting, like
The weed businesses.
yeah
like the,
in Colorado when they were getting it first started,
right.
and they were like. It just followed this one business that all the hardships that they were trying to actually open up their business. They made $100,000 in the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
They sold out immediately.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy. And the guy was like, "Yeah, we just made $10,000 worth of tax money." And in the documentary, it shows you that it was I think $10 million of tax money that was made in just the first month of it.
And you could argue that's just going to be a lot for that time because they just made it legal. But even today, they're still making a crazy amount of money too. So
And that's all
and it
going
also-
to their roads, their schools,
yes,
and
yeah.
stuff
a
like
lot
that.
of it, a crazy amount they had to agree to give to schools.
yeah, I
Which is
think it's
awesome.
over 50% of the
Yeah.
business.
And I
schools.
think that's really
That's a smart idea.
Yeah.
Because
very
if you
smart
look,
idea.
Now I had this idea, and we're talking about taxes. I had this idea. I told my mom because I looked at the tax percentages cut up, and it's 56% go to the military, 10% goes to blah blah, 10% goes to this.
Yeah.
I was like, they should have this. They should send every tax-paying person. So once you get a job, and once you turn 18, I guess you start paying taxes.
Like an expense report where they show you where they spend all the
No,
money.
they send you a report that they say if you fill it out and send it in with your taxes, you're at April 15th. If you send it in with your taxes, that is how we'll allot your tax money for this year. So just bear with me now. So I get this thing and it has 0 to 100%, and I say, you know what? Education is really important to me as a taxpayer. So I want to give 50%. Whatever they take out, I want to put 50% of that towards education. And healthcare is important for me, or Social Security. I want to put 25%, and then it's like, okay, and the military is pretty important to me. I'll put the other 25%. Then think about that. That's the democracy. That's democratic, right?
Because it's based on everybody's decisions.
It's based on your own decision, right? And you might think like, oh, well then like everything won't get like, the money won't be spread out the correct way. Money's not being spread out the correct way anyway.
You're right. Yeah.
And if anything, it's going to be spread out the way that the people, the constituents, us, want it to be. So in areas that maybe the schools aren't the best, maybe the school will get better because people are like, hey, my school's really important to me. It's not that good, right?
Generally, the problem with school that's specific, but I like your idea. But I'll just say like with the school one.
Tell me, before you say that, can you tell me a flaw in what I'm thinking?
I can think of a few ones, but I actually don't know because a lot of these things is just hypothetical ideas. So I don't know what would happen. I think it's a pretty good idea because the more I think about it, like the little problems I had with it, you're right. It's not just like, everybody has their own things that they want to spend the tax money on. They think it should spend on, and you think, oh, well, then people are going to do this. But it is based on everybody's choices.
Like they'll give. I'm saying they won't. It's not like they could be like, oh, you could put it in to like do this. It will still be the same plate. It will still be the same foundations or associations the money will go to. You just get to say what percentage. So like say it's broken up into education, defense, and Social Security. Let's just say those were the only three. Obviously, there's more. Let's just say those were the only three.
Like
you can't pick anything else besides that, but you can pick what percentage goes to it instead of them telling you what percentage goes to it.
That's fine. I like that because
I wonder if anybody's ever actually.
And then I would want an expense report so that they can prove that they're actually doing that. Because I don't know about you, I don't trust the government at all because they've been shown because they're run like a business where. It's in their best interest. We learn about this in econ. It's in their best interest, like bureaucrats, to pass laws where they just spend all of their budget. Yeah. So that then, at the end of the year, the government's like, well, we actually need more money in this area, and they just get more money.
That's like any business,
Yeah, but
because if you don't, then they budget cuts.
And they decide all that. But if you have the people deciding it, the only argument I could maybe see, and this is just to play devil's advocate, is like, does every person in the United States, and I know it's built of everybody's choices, educated and unfortunately there's a lot of uneducated people.
Yeah, like 50% of the nation.
So like, do they really know what's best?
And my thing would be, what I was thinking towards that would be that you could send it in, and you could take it, but if you didn't send it in, it would just go regularly.
To what they thought.
To whatever the split is now. It just, if you don't send it in that. And if you think of it that way, I would assume that only really educated people would do it. I wouldn't think of an uneducated person would take time out of their day to even do it because they wouldn't care.
They might. I just think of like people out and down in the South that are like, gotta spend 100% for the military. I need to. But then
think about that. Then their schools will suffer, and then the next year they'll be like, hey, maybe 100% shouldn't go to the military.
I don't know, man. I wish it worked that way. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the problem. Is like we assume that everybody knows these things, and unfortunately,
they're like cause and effect. Okay.
They just don't understand basic
cause and effect. I put 100% to the military.
Yeah.
Effect.
Schools were shit because we didn't spend any money.
My kindergartner was in a class with K through 8th grade. They just all put them in one class because they couldn't afford any teachers.
Yeah,
I'll put more to military.
I also the other thing that would get weird is, and maybe this would be evened out, but like, not everybody's paying the same amount in taxes, right? Like, what are the millionaires, billionaires? They're spending so much more than everyone else, and at least they do get to pick where the money goes because that's always their complaint. Is like they're like, where's this money actually going? But I don't know how that would even out.
Sure, right? Because the 1%, they say the 1% has 90% of the money.
Yeah. So they also pay like the top 10% or something pays like a ridiculous percentage of the actual tax money that goes to the government.
So you would hope that, but to be fair, those people are hopefully mostly educated. Like there's more educated than not.
Oh, in general, yeah.
Yeah. So
I couldn't
they
imagine.
would hopefully they'd make good decisions.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Just a little tidbit. Well, my brain was storming one day, and
that's interesting.
This is the thunder that came out of it.
That is pretty interesting. I just know that there are this country was built on the whole idea. I don't know if you've ever seen the Atom Ruins Everything one about this with voting, where like the reason we have the whole electoral college is kind of to protect the government from the common rabble. That's really kind of what you
The
could...
common rabble.
Well, for real, like if like, you know how you have some people that they choose that have a higher say, right? Like that's what the electoral people are, versus like your average voter, and that's why certain states are like, you know, they have more like they carry more weight with their votes and stuff. So I forget exactly what he said. I could be butchering the point of it, but basically, like, it's set up so that even if everybody picked someone, I mean, we saw it in this election, right? Everybody, the majority of the actual vote went to Hillary, right?
Yeah.
But Trump won because of the Electoral College, and it's more like to protect.
And that also
didn't really happen this
2000s.
time, but yeah, it didn't really happen this time. But it's sort of
Al
to
Gore and
protect the government from having a new person elected by people that don't actually know what the fuck they're doing. You know
That's
what I mean? And because, to be fair, on both sides, there were people that voted Hillary just because she was a woman, uneducated, you could say, and people that just voted Trump because he wasn't a woman. You know?
Same thing with Obama.
Yeah.
People voted for Bush because he was a white guy. People voted for Obama because he was black.
Yeah, so you always have the uneducated voters, and actually, this is why I didn't vote. I heard this really good argument for it, where it's so watered down. The value of your vote is so low just because you're competing with all these other idiots that are making uneducated decisions, and their vote counts the same as yours. So it's like, and how many, it's like, for every guy like you that's going to vote with some sort of educated position, there's going to be 5 guys that are like, I just want a black guy, or I just want a white guy, or I just want a woman, or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's kind of why I didn't vote. Also, because I didn't want to write my name. I didn't want to write a check mark next to either of those people. I did not like either.
I voted, and I didn't vote for either of them.
I mean, any of the people on the ballot, even Gary Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, but at least with those, I wouldn't be like...
they wouldn't have won, but
yeah,
I
mean, I wanted to... I was one of the people that was like, oh, hey, third party, I want them to get government funding, so I'm going to throw my vote in there.
This was the one where they could have done it. I mean, this was the most news time I've ever seen for like a third party with like the libertarians.
I think they got like 2 million votes or something.
They
like
got
that.
like 2-3% of the vote, which is not enough for them to get government funding. For
it's
the
like
next
5%,
one.
right?
They need 5%.
Oh, that sucks.
So it's like,
gotta go to a multi-party system. All other countries have that. I think France just had their election. They had like 5 different parties in it, or 5 different candidates that people vote from.
Why not, man?
Guy's a cool guy too.
Yeah, I hate getting like 2 choices.
Yeah, right.
Like, I hate that is just
that.
2.
That's to. Have you ever? Okay, there's this guy, and bear with me. He had a thing on Fox News. He was from Fox News, but he was more of a libertarian guy, so I liked him.
Okay.
And he did a rant that actually got him fired from Fox News because he stood there for about 5 minutes or something. Judge Neapolitano, whatever the fuck his last name was, stood there for 5 minutes and just asked questions, like one after the other. And it was like, to the people, he goes, what if the 2-party system is a way for the government to actually just narrow the opinions of people to like want to just not a spectrum but just one side or the other and things like that. And he started with that, went really deep into it, and it was like basically the reason why we don't have a multi-party system is because public opinion is really fucking stupid if you look at it compared to all of the things that are going on. When you're just like, I have to, because look at us, you have to register to vote. You still have to register one or the other. There's not like several things. So.
I mean, they're
independent. That's the only other one.
That's the only
independent.
Because both my parents are independent.
True. Yeah.
That's what I registered as.
But it sucks when you have a closed primary because if you're not registered as a Democrat or Republican, you can't vote.
Yeah.
And if it's closed, and if you're registered as a Democrat, you can only vote for the Democrats. You can't also vote for Republicans.
So, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it should just be like, hey, in the primary, everyone should be able to vote for whatever.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. And then open primaries, you're allowed to vote for everyone. But I've heard like people, like Republicans that go with Democrats and Democrats that goes with Republicans to then like skew primary votes. People are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, so we don't go deep down.
Yeah, it's
President Trump visited France today with the French, not today, yesterday for Bastille Day, with, what's his face?
The new guy.
The new French president. And the military band came down during their big parade. There was like the final military band. They played Daft Punk songs. They covered, they covered One More Time and, Get Lucky, I'm pretty sure. It was a video on Facebook. It was hilarious. And you just see all like the generals and stuff sitting like next to the president. They're all clapping along to it. And the president's smiling. And then they pan to Trump and he's just like, no. I'm like, come on, man. You gotta like Daft Punk. You gotta like Daft Punk.
Oh, wow. It's the first one.
Yep, French military band. It's that first link right there. Skip to the middle of it. Yeah, right there. Turn it up a little bit, yeah. Right? It's good.
I love how he's smiling after good. And Trump's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, right? I hope they go to like the generals because it's just funny because there's like three of them. They're all clapping along, yeah. But look at how sad the band is. A drone shot. I said yesterday, I was like, what if they accidentally pressed the wrong button?
Yeah, I was going to say, that looks like an AC-130 thing from Auto Infantry.
They pressed the wrong button.
Boom, boom.
And they're feeling it too. Everyone's feeling this. Alan Frank could have been there.
He could have. He would have loved this.
He served as a Marine.
That's right. He was
Quote,
in the Marine band.
Quote, Marine, quote, loved when he brought that up. I had no respect for that. Because, like, I'm just there and I'm like, yeah, you might have been a Marine, you might have gone to 2 weeks of boot camp, but that's not like a 8-month deployment.
He wasn't, like, protecting or serving or anything, was he? He was just playing in the band.
So when he's...
That's fun. Trump looks bemused.
So, yeah, I never had respect for that when he was like...
I didn't have respect for him because...
You gotta copy that link, man.
Yeah.
I didn't have respect...
Of the other one. The other one's better.
That's true.
When he was talking about all this thing and how disciplined he was and how tough he tried to make himself sound, and then, like, 2 weeks into practice, he just had, like, a hissy fit and gave up and walked out, and it's like, aren't you supposed
Temper
to be...
tantrums on 15-year-olds.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
But yeah, that was fucking Daft Punk, best French artist ever.
Yeah.
Love Daft Punk. When I saw Portugal the Man, their opener was HD Bin Dope, which is a rapper. He's pretty good. He has an album out. It's a good album. Look him up real quick.
Movie?
The Daft Punk movie? HD Bin Dope. Look that up. I just wanted you to play one song.
HB
Bin, B-E. It's all one word.
Oh.
B-E-E-N Dope, D-O-P-E.
Mirror?
Nah.
Reviews?
Keep on going down. You have Spotify?
No.
Go to Spotify web player. Let me see. Go to his videos because it's not showing me the money. It's off this album. Peace Be the Journey. Full mixtape.
Is it part 2?
No, it's not showing me the money. Now go down. Scroll down so you can see the. It is. Just play.
Aren't we gonna be like flagged if we play music on?
Yeah.
We can't just like.
Whatever. HD Bin Dope. Look him up.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I was going there, his DJ was a French guy, and he was like, what do you Americans like? And he was like just playing songs, and like it was really bad because he was like, it was an opener for an indie pop band, right? Mm-hmm. And like he was like putting on all this rap music, and no one was feeling it. And then he put on. He was in Philadelphia, and he put on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then we were all like, all right, there you go. And he's like, oh yeah, you Americans like this. And we were like, yeah, sure. That's when I saw DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
He's jazz from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He came out to that. He was cool. DJs are fun because they just play hype music for the whole entire time. Mm-hmm. It's like a sing-along dance thing.
Sorry.
What are they saying in the group message there?
Yeah, I'll talk about that once we're done with the thing. Do you guys want to end it now, or do you want to talk about?
I love that we never actually figured out what we're gonna do for our video.
We'll figure it out after we after we turn this off. Am I allowed to play a song to? I played the song last time. Is that okay?
Right,
If you
yeah,
talk really loud,
that's fine.
just start talking really loud with our sign off.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Click our Amazon link. For sponsorship.
I have to get on Spotify really quick. So
Okay. Well, I'm just saying random bullshit now. How embarrassing.
How embracing.
Yeah, so look forward to our new video coming out, the Grill Master.
Yeah, we're just pumping these out, man.
Yeah,
These
we're just
podcasts.
pumping it out.
We're just pumping them out.
Expect a new podcast every day, Monday through Friday. Yeah.
Comment below. See what section of our podcast did you like the most? Did you like the Tinder stories? Did you like the politics? I doubt you like the politics. Did you like what did you like?
The wombats.
Animals? Yeah, let us know.
Animals. Yeah, alright, well, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the Flippity Flip.
Bye!
Yeah,